There you go.
And mute.
Yeah, straight no chase of the podcast. We back once again. um, Three fellas that's just trying to get together and solve everybody's problems one drink at a time. We've known each other for a long time as well. That's kind of how we know each other. As you can tell, we've already gotten started. My name is John, and before we go any further, I want to make sure that everybody knows. Damn, I don't know where my drink went. Okay, we're gonna keep it moving. I'm John, though.
Find your drink, man.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta find your drink, man.
Right.
All right. What up, KG? Back once again, and I am sipping tequila per usual, but I got a new bottle. And this is Casa Noble Tequila Reposado, and it is smooth. So let's toss it up to my cousin Ra. What up, fam?
What up, y'all? Listen, shout out to Queen of Sheba. She's giving us the greetings and salutations. Cherie's up in the comments already. Nicole want to know what we talking about. I see Jen B out there with the love all the new stuff. I don't think she's seen us since season 2. So yes, we got a lot of newness. My name is Rasheem. People's call me Ra. That's what my family call me. It's good to see y'all. Oh, Queen of Sheba says she got her Brooklyn cat last week.
You better get that Brooklyn cat.
Delicious. Natural, vegan, homemade,
with love,
skin and hair care products. If you want to get $8 off, use Str8 with an 8 no chaser STR8 no chaser as your promo code. Get your $8 off. And
I didn't re-up, by the way.
BrooklynCat.com. I got mine coming in the mail. They just sent me email confirmation.
Me too.
Today saying it's on its way.
Yeah.
So Nicole says she's slipping on a little white wine with
two squirts of Joy Drops. I'm not sure what that is. But
Nicole,
we're gonna touch on something like that.
You got to use your context.
I don't know
use your context clues.
Squirts of Joy Drops can be something,
I don't know. I got red wine.
I
see what you're saying with your white, Nicole.
That could be some juicy juice.
I ain't no juicy juice
for the kids.
Yeah. What did Michael Jackson call it? Jesus juice. He called it Jesus juice. All right, y'all. But listen, let's roll into it because I got a few things I want to kind of rumble us through, just to get y'all thoughts, y'all ideas on a couple of stuff that has happened recently. And first and foremost, rest in peace, DJ K-Slay. If you come up on the hip hop scene, especially the underground hip hop scene, New York hip hop scene, East Coast, K-Slay is a mainstay in the culture. Brother was sick, I believe, in December, went into the hospital with COVID, and never quite made it out. I want to say they put him on a ventilator, and then it was looking good at one point in time, and then recently things just went down. So this is still COVID related deaths in spring 2022. You follow me? When some people thinking we coming out of this pandemic, but then when you put that up against you got a judge who overturns the CDC mandate that we supposed to wear masks on flights and all that good stuff, and now people like in mid-flight, the pilot was like, just to let you all know, the mandate was overturned by a judge, and folks is ripping off their masks mid-flight. Hey. How comfortable are y'all with the disappearance of this mask mandate? Keeping in mind, people are still passing away from this thing. It ain't go away.
I'm good. I mean,
what does that mean exactly?
You got to give us more than I'm good.
I am.
Okay.
I am. Pace yourselves, gentlemen. People. What I'm saying is, I'm good because
you pace yourself, Ra. Pipe down.
Pipe down, gents. All right. I'm good because I think at this point we have moved beyond mandating much of anything from a health perspective. I think if people want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, then don't. Me, myself, I'm vaccinated. I'm boosted. I'm not wearing a mask unless I personally feel like it's necessary. And by and large, I feel pretty good. So, I actually agree. There's no reason for you to have a mask mandate in transportation when every place else you necessarily don't. Like they check vac status. Most places, a lot of places do. So I think it just depends on where you, again, living in Texas, we move along that train a little bit faster than folks that are living in some places that are led by Democratic leaders.
Wow.
It really is
political.
If you look at the data and how people navigated COVID and look at how they grade people today, like looking back, hindsight, Texas got high marks for how they handle COVID protocols. You look it up.
I mean, I feel like you can find different texts and different studies to prove any kind of argument you want to. I'm of the opinion this is like the healthiest 2 years that it's been for me for my whole life. I plan on wearing a mask everywhere. I'm wearing masks. I'm putting on gloves. I'm staying 6 feet away from people. I was already kind of like, I don't particularly like people from the gate. So this just fits into my whole overall personality. I'm cool with it. I spent a little time in China a long time ago. Them people have been wearing masks everywhere for a long time, and it didn't stop, it
still started there.
Still started there, we think, or whatever. But all that to say, to me, this is the new normal. COVID is not going anywhere. It's going to continue to metamorphosize and become something different. And this is just, people got to get used to it.
I mean, Anthony Fauci said that the pandemic phase of this is over.
Yeah, but then he walked that back the next day. Because I mean, once again, people still dying from this. You can't really say, oh, it's over. People still dying. I do believe that, you can't rewind the clock. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't say mandates now. That ain't gonna happen. So I think people should, as you both said, make your own determination. Do what you feel is best for you. Nicole put, she's gonna use her best judgment, and I think that's what we should do. Like, I go to the gym, I'm wearing a mask. People huffing and puffing and breathing all out in the air, I'm wearing a mask. If I'm walking down the street, I ain't wearing a mask. If I walk into a restaurant, I'm not wearing a mask. What's going on, Ish? How you feeling?
People's dental hygiene is not good enough for me. I'm of the opinion everybody need to keep the mask on.
I heard that, but listen, I think I think the plane may be I'm gonna wear a mask on the plane because you're in a contained unit. I know it's supposed to be recycled air and all that good stuff, but I'm still gonna wear a mask on the plane. But speaking of planes, we had this one situation where Iron Mike Tyson was on a plane, and from what I could take of the IG clips, it looked like he was minding his business, and then one of our white brethren who was being filmed by, it almost sounded like one of our black brethren talking about my man, my boy, he's trying to talk to Mike, and he drunk, he trying to talk to Mike, and it's ha ha he. But then in the second or the third clip, you see Mike turned around in his seat. He put the pause on. It was like blah 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 blah. And then in the third clip, it was the white boy. He had the little, lumped up on the side of the head. He was bleeding. And, his man was like, man, he was just trying to get an autograph. From what I saw, it looked like he was trying to do more than just get an autograph. He was annoying the hell out of him. Is Mike right or wrong for beating this man down on a plane like that?
In the court of public opinion, he's absolutely 100% right. However, legally, that's going to cost him some money. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of if he was right or wrong, you can't beat people down on the airplane. It's my understanding that the dude was allegedly a fan. He kept messing with Mike. And, one thing led to another. Mike Tyson put the pause on him. It is what it is. But it's going to cost him some money. But, I mean, that's what he makes the money for.
At this point, I don't know, because something's missing from that video. You don't see what happens between the time he all up in Mike's face and then he getting the punch down. You don't see. Now, once that comes out, then I can determine whether or not, he going to have to come up with some money for that. Because, I came up in an era where if I was a fan of somebody, hey, I'm a fan. Can I get an autograph? Thanks. And I go about my business. This man was in his face, and Mike was just sitting there, mind his business, and this was going on and on and on. He was perpetually in his man's face. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to have to come up with some money.
Mike was chill when the dude had a gun in his face. So it's not like he doesn't have video or moments, public moments where he kept his calm under pressure in really precarious situations. So for him to react like this, the dude had to cross over the line plenty of times. And so even when you saw his punches, Mike wasn't really giving him the full Monty. Like he wasn't really giving him that Iron Mike, I got my base and I'm trying to knock you out. It was like, stop messing with me, you mother, that kind of thing. So, and the dude, he didn't even get lumped up for real. Man, he got a couple little, like he might have cut his tongue and put the blood on his forehead a little bit. So he didn't really get him. He got touched up a little bit. So,
I mean, I'm just saying it's still gonna cost him some money, and we could put a little bet on that too if y'all want.
We could put a little bit on that.
He didn't even get arrested.
He didn't. Now,
but
even still, civil and criminal are two different things.
The dude's filed some charges, and how much? Okay, I agree. He will probably come off some change.
There you go.
The question is, how much change you think he's gonna get? I don't think it's gonna be.
I don't agree with that. I think he would come off on money if Mike settles out of court. If Mike decides to be like, I'm not gonna take it to court because I don't want to deal with this. Let me pay him. Then yeah, he might he gonna come. But if Mike take it to court, it ain't a slam dunk that he gonna get paid. It's not a slam dunk that he's gonna get paid.
If it comes to court, we'll revisit this little subject.
Because if he's invading his space, if Mike even yes, Kiana asked the question: do boxers have to register their hands is lethal weapons? I mean, I've heard that. I don't know if that's fact, but I heard that.
Wow.
But Iron Mike Tyson technically is no longer a boxer. He
still competes though.
He's art. If he doesn't compete, he does. he does.
Mike might fuck you up for that statement.
What does he does? What do they call those things? They call them like
celebrity boxing matches.
Yeah, but they're not competition. They're not competition. He octogenarian now. He an old man.
Woo!
He old man
Mike,
now.
This is not Straight No Chase's opinion. That's Rasheem. That's how he feels.
Mike is an old man now.
But,
Mike can still knock somebody out.
But listen, some other stuff be going down on planes. Did y'all see the joint about the dude who got arrested? He was on the plane next to a shorty, put his hands in his pants, started beating off, pulled his pants down,
crazy,
masturbated on 4 different occasions, sitting next to, and he was quoted as saying he thought the experience was a kinky experience, so that's why he did it. And then they moved the woman's seat, the sister's seat. But all this stuff is happening on planes. People not wearing masks. Michael beating people up. Dude is masturbating next to a strange woman. What if you was you took because you taking off, kind of nod off a little bit because the pressure does its thing, and then you wake up because you're trying to get your snack, and then you look next to you, the dude in the middle aisle is beating his beat.
Just hit him with that bow. I can't even imagine that, man. I can't even imagine like how you could possibly think that that's acceptable. But as we see on social media every day, a whole lot of people are not wrapped too tight.
I agree. We got a lot of people who are not the brightest bulbs in the bunch.
Facts.
And, people make money. People get gifted tickets. And, I mean, the plane is public transportation.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff has been happening on planes.
But look
Corona.
I got one little problem.
Look at New York substations.
But hold on.
Subway in New York. Hold up. The subway in New York. You see plenty of videos of people doing ridiculous things there. You see plenty of video of people doing ridiculous things on the bus. You see plenty of video of people doing ridiculous things on look at Atlanta and the highways with people in these Dodge Chargers. I mean, people just do dumb stuff.
Agreed. But my thing is this. So he allegedly beat off 4 separate times.
It's not alleged. Well, maybe it is alleged.
I'm just saying.
According to he was arrested for that, yes.
He was arrested.
He did beat off. He was doing something that he's,
But here's my thing, though.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
His pants down.
Okay, so the first time he sees that, did she talk to the stewardess and say, excuse me,
dude,
this man just did this. What can we do about it? I'm assuming she did. And the stewardess was like, the plane is full. What happened?
What I read is that she woke up and saw him with his pants down. That's when she complained and got moved. It could be that he has self-disclosed that I did it a few times.
Oh, okay.
And then I fell asleep.
I got you. And she just
then,
caught him on round 4.
Right. So I don't know that. Yeah.
Dude must be. He
And some
he
of them
cannot
not
be
like
older
that,
than
man.
19.
If you're able to reload 4 times,
4
on the
times.
flight,
How long is the
on the
flight?
flight,
Where was they going?
You know,
I think it's
he
from like
actually
Seattle to
buzzed.
Phoenix.
Where was they going?
Busted, though.
And listen, 4 times in the 4-hour time frame, you really got to be.
To Australia.
What kind of motivation did the dude have? You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn.
Well, you know, he you know, he know himself. He knows.
I mean, he went back to back to back to back.
For real.
But you know, hold on. I gotta play this out. Check this out. So
Go ahead.
the dude then started in his pants. It got so good, he pulled his pants down and was like, I gotta go again. What did he put the jizz?
Oh.
Once again, we don't know if he
Moving on.
bust. We don't know if he bust.
He said 4 times. So I'm assuming it's like you conclude and you go up again.
Maybe he was.
What were the people in front and behind doing? That's my question.
Well, you know, you can't see
moving a little bit.
You can't really see what's going on in front and behind of you when you're sitting on a plane.
I mean, you can hear something.
Was it dark?
As Mojave said, the tantric beat. You know, that maybe you know, he was into that tantric.
There you
go.
go.
He was meditating while he was doing it, to make sure he can get himself to the point. But if we really want to go there, talk about people getting themselves to the point. Did y'all see that thing about DJ Envy and his lady Gia Casey?
Oh
yeah, man.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see?
Yeah,
for those who are watching,
break it down, please.
For those who are watching, for those who are listening. So they were on, they were being interviewed for one of those little, you know, everything is interview clips for social media now. And what Gia was saying is that, you know, Andy would put in all this work, and to reward him for the work, she would fake an orgasm. She said she was doing this for years.
Wow.
Years.
Wow.
And he didn't know. And he's thinking, yeah, I put it down. And she was like, oh, no, I faked all that. And he was like, what? Mind blown. So that's one piece. The other piece is when social media got a hold of it and it made it to clickbait realm. People was just trying to make it seem like she ambushed him with this information during the interview. And when you watch the interview, it was clear that this is something they had discussed and they was cool with. But KG, you had your hand up. What are your thoughts about that?
Is she at fault for that?
For what?
Do you think
talking
she's
about
at fault?
it, or
let me finish the question. Do you think she is at fault for not communicating her, I'm assuming, dissatisfaction
for faking
for 10 years of faking an orgasm with her husband? Or do you blame him, or is he maybe fault is not the right word, but you understand what I'm trying to get to? Is he at fault for not asking or learning the needs of his spouse? But 10 years is that's a decade of
10 years, no nuts. Damn.
You feel me?
I feel like somebody said they were very young when they got together. So, you know, I won't say that she was at fault, but at a certain point, she should have definitely just been like, listen, what you're doing, it ain't working. And let's, you know, if we really love each other, let's try to work on this and, you know, make it happen. You know, so at some point, 10 years, that's just ridiculous. Come on now, 10 years, that's too much.
It sounds
he would see the, you know, that's the sound effect he gave, the little, you know, because if you're doing it right, you get up, you know, it's wet. It's wet. I'm not saying like,
but that don't mean she climaxed though. That don't mean she had an orgasm.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Rick Ross said that, you know, what a girl said she put on her drink.
Not all women squirt as a mode of climax.
I agree.
I just don't want us to fall into that generalization because, you know, last season we generalized a lot of things about women. We got beat up for it.
True.
So we got to make sure. But I'm not going to say she's at fault. I'm going to say, John, you said at some point in time, you got to say something. I think at some point in time, she said something. It's just a shame it took her 10 years to say it. Now, let's be honest. A lot of dudes are soft as marshmallows in a flame,
Mm.
and they can't take critique about this sexual output. And she could have been like, I'm trying to preserve his confidence, so I'm not gonna say anything.
I feel like there's a way to say everything. You know what I'm saying? But again, they was very young, and she, as time went on, she figured it out. But I agree. You know, people have a difficult time imagining men as being like human beings. So yeah, sometimes men get insecure about their sexual performance, just like women do, just like I'm assuming everybody else does. It is what it is. But there's a way to tell somebody, hey, do this because I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You doing this, that don't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? And just talk about it.
You know who ain't secure about his sexual performance?
No idea.
Shaq Diesel. He said he was in them streets.
Right. Oh yeah.
He didn't want to go into the specifics of what he was doing, but when questioned on that podcast that we was talking about before, he was like, "Yo,
I
my
appreciate that.
Yeah, my wife was she did everything right. She did what she was supposed to do. I was the one that was out there doing X, Y, and Z, and it was what it was. Old dude, the one that was clowning Russell Wilson when he calling him a square.
Yeah.
Dude was like, well, there are two people in a divorce, trying to make it seem like it was both their faults, trying to put blame on her, on his ex-wife. And Shaq was just like, no, she did everything she was supposed to do.
Right.
I was out there. You know what I'm saying? What are y'all thoughts on Shaq taking 100% blame for his divorce?
I think he's accountable. You know, Shaq is probably in his 50s now, or soon to be in his 50s.
Shaq is in his 50s?
Soon to be in his 50s.
Shoot.
I don't know. I mean, he might be.
He might be in his 50s because I'm
so,
soon to be in my 50s.
All of us, as we get older, we continue to mature, we continue to evolve and gain clarity, and it's easy to look back and look at moments in time and be like, you know what? I was a dick. You know what? That was not right. Or you know what? That was dumb. And so I think as he has continued to mature and accept responsibility and accountability for his actions, I mean, some people get to that age and still ain't did it. So I applaud his ability to look back, take ownership, have an amicable relationship with his ex-wife, to maintain the continuity of his family from a context of he's still a father, providing for his children and still supporting her in all her endeavors. It takes a big man like this. He's a gigantic dude, but it takes a real big adult, a big human to accept their faults and acknowledge them and be accountable for it. So I applaud him.
I was impressed with it. I was like, good for you, Shaq. You know, Shaq has shown himself to be a real stand-up kind of dude in a lot of ways. I don't agree with everything that he says or he does or whatever the case is, but in this particular case, you know, he was like, it is what it is. I was buck wild. I was dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? She did what she had to do. I totally understand it. He also said something in that same interview. I don't know if that clip made the same rounds, but he was like, I stay up at night. You know what I'm saying?
He's
thinking about the mistakes that I've made, not talking to Kobe more. You know, like that's what happens when you get older. People don't really talk about it that much. You got time to kind of reflect on things that happened in your past. You know, it is what it is. I thought it was a very good little, statement from Shaq Diesel.
Well,
it was a great interview, and I applaud it. I like that podcast. So if anybody's into it, check out the Pivot. And with that, we gonna pivot. And Ra, you should have a video. I would say cue the video, and as Ra's cueing the video, I believe we can really, dialogue about the. This topic here, this lifestyle topics. I believe the people will appreciate it. The men may, some of the women may too. So as soon as this video pops up, I'm trying to talk over it and give some context clues. But
and it's I think it's more than just about lifestyle. It's about health as well.
Listen, you got to burn calories in a lot of different ways. And, we help each other when we burn calories together. And
we talk about the same damn thing. Hold on.
Everybody's confused.
Yeah, you talk about burning calories.
Cancer in the early stages is not painful. So it is not easy for a person to know they've got cancer. That is why I encourage men to suck those titties, and I encourage women. Is it embarrassing? You don't suck a titty. What do you suck?
Talk to him. Talk to him.
What do you suck?
She said you gotta suck something. What do you
she
suck?
said, "What do you suck?"
Something.
And now.
So if Envy had been doing this to his wife, see, they would have a whole different conversation. But anyway.
Yeah. So the woman in the video, her last name is, I want to say, is Duday.
Don't do it.
Yeah, Duday.
Duday.
She's a
Julian
South African actress.
Yeah, she's an actress, but she did really have breast cancer, and I think the message is accurate in terms of, I'm not saying it, I agree with her thought process. But
Sucking the titties was not going to find cancer. Feeling them.
And she's talking about both of it, right?
That's a part of the process.
And so there's another portion of it where she's talking about for people who for our appendages that may receive some oral stimulation. It's massaging your two pairs, your pair down there, to feel for any lumps and stuff like that. So as you're engaging in that space, right, how do you inspect each other and support health as well? And also while you're engaged in that, that carnal privilege, you burn calories. It's a privilege. It is a privilege.
The carnal privilege. Okay.
Yeah. So what y'all think about that, man? How do you feel about how, connecting something, kind of carnal to your health? Do you make that connection?
I think the sister was very funny in how she
I think she was very
instructed.
serious.
I think she was comical and serious, but that ain't nothing new. It isn't new to have your sex partners play a role in the inspection of tumors. I mean, she just said it in a funny way, but it's plenty of times you could hear PSAs on the radio in a more professional and diplomatic way, talking about how we could play a role in identifying tumors in each other's bodies. And I feel like if you have a partner who's there and they feel a lump, they should be like, "Hey, Ma,
hey, Ma, this wasn't here yesterday."
Do you think you would stop?
Oh, that's a different question about stopping. Well, depending on what the lump is like, yeah.
So wait a minute, you would be like,
if it's like, wait, hold on a second, this is a golf ball that came out of nowhere. Absolutely, I'm stopping.
Yeah,
like sex is not that important.
She can't go to the doctor right then.
Yeah,
she can't go to the doctor right then.
Well, maybe she can, depending on the time of day, and it doesn't. Look, some people.
So wait a minute.
Pop it off in the morning. Some people pop off in the middle of the day. Yes, she can. It depends on what's going on. She could go to the doctor if depending on the time of day. But the thing is, for some people, that might be enough to be like, wait a minute, I care more now about your health than getting a nut off. I need to know what's going on here.
The doctor will be there in the next 7 minutes.
And
we'll be done here in the next 3 minutes.
Really?
No. Listen.
So I've been told.
I understand what you're saying, Ra, but I don't know if the majority of the people are in the space that you're in, because I think people will, as they're feeling and they're feeling stuff, they motivated. You got
to be gentle.
She is.
You got to be gentle here.
Hold on a second. You've never stopped.
Hold on.
You've been motivated before, and you've never stopped.
Here's the rub. No pun intended.
It's
the recap. You gotta do the recap. That's how you get your. That's what Envy wasn't doing. You got to get your evaluation. So you go back and you talk about your experience. Like, man, you know what? What was going on up there? I felt this, And she like, wait a minute, what you talking about? And then you show where it is, and then that's your assistance right there.
I get it. I just think the idea that you're so concerned about getting a nut off.
I don't think that's what it's not about the concern.
You gotta follow through with that versus because I could imagine her being like, wait a minute, hold on a second. You found the lump, but you wanted head, so you ain't say nothing.
Right.
I can imagine that. You know what I'm saying?
If you DJ Envy, then yeah, that would be a problem.
So wait a minute, you getting some brain, and then you like feel something in the throat. You're like, wait a minute, that was not there. That molar, something is missing. And then you like, you know what? I think you need to go get your throat checked out. But wait, that would be so foul. You would be so foul if you just kept that info in your head. You was like, that lump wasn't there, and then you say it after sex. Be like, hey, by the way, there was a lump. There was a little pebble in your titty, and she was like, what?
Clearly,
you out of there. You're done. You're done.
Cole is clearly on the same page with y'all. She's like, blow it out. We'll get to it later. That's what it looks like.
Hey,
She said, y'all in the zone. Keep it going.
Hey, listen. I don't know if I would stop. It had to be super, like it had to be jumping off your body, like I can see it.
Wow. Now, if you got something that I can see, then if you got like a gremlin kind of thing, like the alien, and I can see it moving, then
like Spaceballs when the joint coming out the belly.
Then I'm gonna stop.
If you got something like that, we got to pause.
Then I got to go. You're right. I'm with you on that one. Yeah. You got like a little jaw.
But if I'm feeling something, that could just be like the tissue moving around because you worked out real good. I mean, we don't know.
Listen, I'm just saying, fellas, feel up your ladies because you never know, you could be saving it.
Oh, we filling up now.
Ladies, feel up your dudes because you never know, you may be saving it.
Or my non-binary, feel up my non-binary because we love everybody.
Feel up whoever you with.
There you go.
But
speaking of
love the one you with.
Speaking of loving the one you with us, we want to thank y'all for listening to us and tuning in. And you can get this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast entertainment from. Straight No Chaser the podcast. Please subscribe to us. Leave a comment. Oh, we also got our email address, straight with an 8, no chaser, 23, gmail.com. Send us emails if you got some questions, something you want to know about us. Let us know. You can send us, like I said, that email, or find us all over the place. Like I said,
you want a little advice.
Want a little advice, right? All of the above.
By the way, y'all should give John an applause, virtually and literally, because every time, please. This is the first time John has gotten that promo right without any flub ups in the history of the show. So
we've been doing this 2 years.
2 years. That's well done. Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Every time I will take it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you gotta give us our flowers.
You will never hear me turn down no applause.
Hey, facts.
I could dig it. Listen.
One more thing though, because we're always interested in the markets and all this, or at least I am. What we think about Elon Musk buying Twitter? We into that. 44 billion for Twitter. Crickets. Y'all don't care about that.
I mean,
that is a huge thing.
He's the richest man in the world. The deal hasn't been approved.
This is true.
So it's a takeover. I mean, he bought a big stock in it, and the owner, I would sell too for 44 billion.
I'd be out of there.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Like,
he's fucking up my Tesla stock though.
Like Tina Cole said, I think it's trash.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about Elon Musk. I just, anytime I see him or think of him, I just feel like his parents were racist South Africans that probably supported apartheid. And that's the context in which he grew up in. I don't know, speculating. He's South African.
Right.
He's an Afrikaner. He's an Afrikaner. I don't know. But just the whole idea that it's a new toy for him.
Yeah.
It's a new toy for him. If you got that money, you can buy your toys. It is what it is. There has been they're trying to draw a correlation between his buying of Twitter and the number of Twitter users going down, because there was a substantial drop in accounts like Barack Obama's accounts. like accounts like his, there was a substantial drop in their followers because folks was like, I'm hopping off Twitter. If he owns it, I'm done. It's a wrap. So
I think people are over exaggerating things. I'm all for. I think that this is a mistake on his part. Like I said, he's doing damage to Tesla, which is what's making him this money. And I really need him to focus on bringing out the Cybertruck. Elon, if you watch this program, if you hear this podcast, get off your ass. Give the world the Cybertruck because we need it in these streets.
He doesn't. The money that Tesla makes is not from the vehicles though. It's from Bitcoin, tax credits that they have. Look it up, and the solar piece. Like they don't. If you look at their share profitability from selling cars, they don't make money at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I tell you this. Let's get off of Elon because I'm tired of him and his Musk. Let's talk about somebody who I think should get a little more shine for what he has done for marginalized communities in his own way. Kyrie Irving. You see how he fired Rockefeller and he brought on his stepmama to be his agent? You don't get a lot of black agents, and you absolutely don't have black women sports agents.
Mm-hmm.
Put her on. I can remember back in 2020 when WNBA, NBA was about to pop off and all that good stuff. There were a lot of players, a lot of sisters who didn't want to play. But then, the flip side is they didn't play, they didn't get paid. They didn't have no money, and they don't get paid like the male stars.
Mm-hmm.
He put up $1.5 million to be like, I think it was $1.5 million. Yeah. For the like, you're not gonna get paid. I'll subsidize you here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What do you think about how he has supported black women in what they do with regards to professional sports?
It's dope. A lot of people got a problem with Kyrie for a lot of various things. I have always liked he marches to the beat of his own drummer. I appreciate that he is supportive of various different causes, including this one. And I think that it's a smart thing to hire your family member as your agent. Keep that money in-house. You know what I'm saying? Makes all the sense to me.
Christina said he ain't that smart. She said he believes that the world is flat. Next.
He ain't perfect. You know what I mean? The dude got into Duke. He's intelligent, and I would classify Kyrie as mercurial. Like I would define him as a very mercurial individual. And
you need to define mercurial for me right now because I don't know what
SAT words on Straight No Chase of the podcast.
A little strange here and there.
Okay.
I got to look that one up.
But he to John's point, he marched to the beat of his own drum, and I'm good with that. I think he's a poor teammate if it comes to individual types of things in terms of how he supports certain causes like Black Lives Matter. He wanted to tell the players, don't go play basketball in the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
There were bigger things at play. I agreed with him. I'm not mad that they went to go play, but I thought it was something bigger that was going on. But the players took stands in different types of ways.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he hired his mother is fantastic. Stepmother. Well, some people call it stepmom and mom.
Right.
I got you. There was a study that was done, and even like some agents will say this: when black athletes get rich or they become, these multimillionaires, what typically happens is they hire like a white agent.
Mm-hmm.
They get a white wife. They surround themselves with these white individuals who help support their career, and then divorce rate 50%. So half of them divorce their wives, white wives. White wives get half of their money, and that money then goes to their next husband, who's also probably going to be white. It just we don't get a chance to see that money that those athletes make remain in our community. And for him to hire his mother-in-law, it gives us more avenue to keep that money within our community.
Took you a minute, but I was waiting for you to get there. It took you a minute.
Got to land the plane, baby.
You got there.
I got you. So I'm proud of him to do something like that, man, because you don't really see a lot of situations with people of his stature, his money, where the money remains in our community. Typically, it goes some other place.
Right.
He understands the game, and he's signed enough of these contracts at this point to kind of know what's going on, and he probably trusts his family member intrinsically as opposed to his agent who just has a business relationship with him or whatever. It makes all the sense in the world to me. I also love it when athletes are their own agents. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of them do that too. They college educated.
Yeah.
Make all that happen. Keep all the money.
Well, you're giving away 5-10% of your money. You're making 100 million, 10 million, 5 million. That's still bread.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But I mean, he was with Rockefeller, and even that was a historic thing to have Jay-Z create that firm to then start representing high profile athletes. So I could see him saying, well, I ain't going to a white person from Rockefeller. That ain't gonna happen. But then to identify that his stepmother had the capacity to do the work,
get that
and
make it happen. So I think that's a dope thing.
More power to them. Actually, the athletes of today, I admire these younger gentlemen, these younger men. I think about a dude like LeBron who put all his crew on. Mitch, not Mitch. What's Eric Carter? He has his production company. You got Clutch Sports. With his agent like Rich Paul. Like he put all his boys. Like they had to put in the work, but they have been rewarded handsomely for their accomplishments, and it remained in the crew. So, like a lot of these younger athletes are doing things like that, man. Like even Steph Curry, his wife has her own little thing, not her own little thing, her own thing with her food stuff. I mean, she's in modeling now. Like I love to see us multiplying that way.
Ditto forever. Big facts. I love all that.
Yeah. Now, speaking of all of that,
yes,
I like videos. Clearly, I'm the voyeur here. So
let me know when you want me to
play the clip for the people.
Run the clip for the people.
People, y'all gotta watch this.
You gotta get the sound right.
Well, how long do you prefer?
A perfect sex session is probably like 15-20 minutes.
That's too long. You got to think about it. 15 to 20 minutes, you could be down by like 30 points in a basketball game and come back in 15 minutes. That's a long time. I would prefer a cool 9 minutes. We kiss.
Stop it. All right.
All right. 9 minutes.
But
we need to clarify, is this from beginning or beginning? Like, is it including the foreplay, or is it?
Well, we stopped it. If we had continued, she had laid it out. She was like, that is
everything.
The kissing,
wow,
everything.
The boom, boom, boom.
Everything is 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Let's talk about this, y'all.
Elaine is like, no, ma'am.
First of all, does anybody agree with? Who do you agree with between the male and the woman? What do you guys like?
Different strokes for different folks, because you can definitely get the job done in 9 minutes sometimes.
She said that's her preference. You absolutely can get the job done in 2 minutes if you want to.
9 seconds.
I don't know about that. However, based on what she stated and he stated, which person do you tend to align your thought process with as you approach getting intimate with whomever? With your significant others.
Ra.
Jen says 9 minutes suffices for just strokes. So Jen, how many extra additional minutes for the warm up?
20 minutes, roughly about 20 minutes.
I think 15 to 20 minutes is reasonable. Now, if she says that she wants it in 9, can accommodate that too.
That's a fact. That's true. This is true. You gotta let the people know what you want.
I don't need my ego boosted or stroked. I don't need to feel like I was King Kong for the whole damn night. I don't need all of that. If you telling me you need 9, all you need is 9 minutes, okay, that doesn't kill me. But I think
do you need 9 minutes of wetness?
15 minutes is reasonable. 20 minutes is reasonable. You shouldn't bat your eye at that. But if she says 9, I'm gonna hold her down and make her take it longer. Yeah, that's borderline rape.
Some people like that.
I'm not doing that.
Some people like that. Now, she says stop, you got to stop, but you got to have the safe word. It could be pineapples.
If she's like, I'm good, I'm done. No, you're gonna take it for the next 30 minutes.
Take this last pump
So
right over 9 minutes.
I couldn't. 9 minutes is ridiculous to me. Like, we would not be compatible at all. She needs to read a book.
She likes what she likes. She's allowed to like what she likes.
And I'm
Right.
allowed to like what I like too.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
when
like
do
her.
you? But when do you find that out, though? You know what I'm saying? Are you?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
how you
that's first
doing?
time.
Let's get drinks. Let's go to dinner.
No.
You good? Okay, let's go back to the crib. I need to see how long you want to bone. Like, when do you find that out?
You can ask that question.
Yes.
You
What are your
ask that off the
preferences?
break, and
I
you
didn't say off
expect,
the break.
and you
but I'm
expect to get an
saying-
honest answer
But yeah,
off the break.
you ain't got nothing to lose.
Wait, hold on a second. You have met somebody.
Let's just
you asking me
you
personally?
just started kicking it with them.
Are you asking me personally?
I'm asking. Look, let me put the hypothetical out, and then you just
Okay.
respond.
right.
You meet somebody. You just let's take you out. A male meets a female. Man meets a woman. They start kicking it. Exchange phone numbers. I'm gonna meet you out at the Cheesecake Factory so we can go to dinner. They at the Cheesecake Factory. It's their first date out. And before the night's over,
Cheesecake.
so how long you like to be stroked?
Yeah.
You think that's a
I would
reasonable question?
not lean in. I
No.
don't think a lot of people would lean in like that.
You
If
ask
you
her
look
that
at-
right when you give her the cheesecake.
Yeah. If you look at the internet, people ask those questions via text without even knowing who the people are.
I'm saying
So-
in a if you're trying to build a responsible, reasonable relationship, something that looks like it's going to make sense over time, do you think there is any way you can ask that question? And if so, please provide me the example so that these people out there in the internet can be like, oh, I can
That's how you
ask
do
her
it.
how long she likes to be pumped,
Very
but I
easy.
can do it in a responsible and respectful way.
Very simply, ask her what are her
people.
preferences. What are your preferences?
Preferences about what? That's a big question.
Well,
We're talking
let her-
specifically. No, we're talking specifically
Hold
about
on. No. You asked me a question. I'm giving you my motherfucking answer.
my
My-
question is about how long
No.
does she
My
want to be
answer-
stroked?
My answer,
Spicy.
my answer is, you ask the question.
What are your
I'm teaching here.
What are your
What are
preferences?
your preferences?
I prefer blue over red.
That's fine.
How does that answer your question?
I wouldn't ask you the question because you ain't
Hey.
a woman.
Whoa.
No, but
Can
I'm
I
saying,
interject
but what
one
if that's
thing
a
real quick?
response? I prefer chocolate ice
Ra?
cream over vanilla.
Ra, the hypothetical that Ra was talking about was like when you in the initial phases. In that initial phase, you got to put it down. So all of this 9-minute average BS, that's for later on when we establish we years into it. In that first time, you got to put it down, and everybody knows that. So let's be 100% with Straight No Chaser the podcast. But now, if we are committed, we in the relationship is years down the line, you know exactly which buttons to push, or you
Yeah.
should, to get your partner where they need to go in a
Yeah.
certain amount of time. So on a Tuesday, we ain't
Listen.
got time to be, let's just get it in, do what we need to do, and move on. Now,
And it-
Saturday night, we might be able to pull out the strings and the whistles. That's a
I see what you
string.
did there. I like that.
Christina said
But
my
check-
lean
but-
in and the
hold
squint
on.
of my
I
eyes was wrong.
didn't
Let me
get my
get some of these
Oh,
comments
preach.
though. Tease was talking about. She said, "Look, ask everything. Period. She wants to know it all from beginning to end." And
While you pulling them up too, Rob?
Yeah.
It's again, if you in that initial conversation piece, there's no you don't have a necessarily goal to ask the question. You're just asking questions to see where the road leads. You don't you ride in the car together and you don't have a destination until you get a destination. When you get a destination, you get very specific directions. Which house is it?
y'all sound real like y'all figured this
Mature.
out. No, that's not immature. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it's immature. What I'm saying, it sounds ideal. Ideally, yes. But I don't think it works like that in the real world. I think in the real world, you start opening up with questions like that on the first date.
You out of there.
What you're identifying is whether or not you got someone who's a prude or a freak. And I think if you identify that you got a freak, because she's like, yo, let's swing for some chandeliers. That's my preference. We're going to go all night long. Then I think in the real world, what you're going to do at that point is try to slut her out. And then the whole relationship is out the
if you
window.
ask them questions that off she's going to talk about you bad in the group text. And
You know she is.
Right.
You know you going to be all up in her group text.
As soon as you ask something dumb like that, she's going to be like, no.
And John,
So look at what Christina put on in her quote.
If someone asked me early on how long I want to be stroked, red flags, 4 of them.
Like I said,
Rasheem and John, let me ask you guys this question. What do you believe that women, when they see a man, knows what's the time frame does it take for them to identify if they are willing or would desire to have sex with them?
Immediately.
I think they know that right away.
Okay.
Immediately.
But here he go with his shady comparisons. Go
I
ahead.
love it. I love it.
You know, he got to have a shade, at least one.
No.
He got to
know
give
what I
us
mean.
one
Go
tonight.
all the way
What I
around.
mean. Check this out. If they know and they've agreed to go out, have drinks, kick it with you in any kind of way, then that's a feather in your cap, right? Because I mean, a man, most men, they desire them too. Like there's a mutual level of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you are aggressive and abrasive, then obviously red flags and they're gonna be gone. Like you should be gone. However, if you are filling out the situation appropriately, if you're having great conversation, you can't just pivot and be like, "Hey, man, how you like a coochie to be ate?" I mean, that's too. You can't do that.
Who can't do that? Who can't do that? No.
I mean, it wouldn't be a wise decision. But if you ease it, if you have a great conversation and it's vibing, like, man, you know, I'm really feeling this conversation. You know, man, how are you receiving this dialogue too? And if she responds in the appropriate way or in a way that you kind of like, man, I think that might be a little avenue, then you know you can ask some different kind of questions. We have a friend of ours who was a master at pivoting conversations and it evolving into something where you're like, how do we get here?
Right.
And we're like, wow, next thing you know, it might be massaging for lumps and finding out, telling people like at the end of the night, hey, I think I felt the lump right there. So, it's possible. It's highly possible.
It can definitely happen. No question about it.
So I don't know why you trying to chip like that, bro. Like that's not possible.
But what my thing is, they look like they're in a relationship, and I put things in boxes.
He looked surprised.
But
he didn't know.
Can I say what my thing is? My thing is, I do not think it aids. It helps to have like that serious relationship. Start off with questions about how long she wants to be stroked. I think you can get there, and I think you can get there quickly. But if it's the first thing out of your mouth, if it's first date conversation, then you are setting yourself to be put in a box, stay in that box, and then also be in her group texts, her chats with her girls. That's
facts. You gotta know thyself if you go in there.
True, but not on an airplane and definitely not 4 times. They say that what is understood does not need to be explained. So I'm not asking none of that. We just gonna show me. I don't want to hear you tell me about it. That's just me. Anyway,
airport bathroom.
Right. We got one more thing. So a recommendation for folks. This is just kind of a freestyle thing where we can just recommend anything that we think everybody needs to be into. I don't know if y'all can see back here. I love to read World War Z. This was a movie. This is the book that the movie was made from. Highly recommended. Very good book.
All right. I'm going to give you guys a podcast. It's called Whiskey, Jazz, and Leadership. The person who hosts this podcast, his name is Galen Bigham. And I believe if you go check out this podcast, one, you'll pick up some pearls of wisdom from various leaders in various industries that are applicable to all of us who are, working. And 2, it's a very soothing experience. The show is very short, but great content. Check it out. He's been in our comments a couple of times, joining our show, but Whiskey, Jazz, Leadership, check it out. It's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna, hold on a second. Christina wanted to thank John.
What is she thanking me for?
Maybe it was the book. I don't know. Christina, what were you thanking him for?
You're welcome.
These are maybe old comments. I'll be backtracking. So if we're recognizing books, John, this one, Black Rabisi.
Right.
Black Rabisi. Y'all need to get it. Y'all need to read it. 303 pages. Just let you know, someone hit me up just last night talking about I'm currently on chapter 49 of Black Rabisi. He had to force myself to put it down, so I have something to read tomorrow. Great read! Exclamation point! I'm telling y'all playing around. Christina, you had the book. I see you in the comments. You had the book. You know, you read it when you was out there on your vacation. I'm gonna keep recommending this book until Broken Brotherhood drops. I'm letting you know right now, before the end of the summer,
right,
you are going to get a cover release. Christina just put in the comments, yes. So with a whole bunch of O's, good, ready to Mexico. Y'all need to read this book. I'm gonna keep pumping it. Broken Brotherhood cover, that is gonna be the cover reveal is gonna be before the end of the summer. We're gonna get pre-sale. Listen, if you want to know what the book is about, I want you to just go to Amazon. I'm the only Rasheen Rook in the world. You put it in Amazon, the book is gonna come up. It's gonna give you all the information and all the wonderful reviews, except for the one person who gave me a bad review. Can't make everybody happy.
Bump them. I almost said a different word.
Can't make everyone happy. But yeah, that's my recommendation for the people. Black Rabisi, Ribisi. Black Rabisi. Go check it out.
It's a great one.
Right.
Great book. Great book.
Big facts.
Wait till y'all see Broken Brotherhood. Oh, the cover is sweet. Okay, never mind. Let me stop.
And I'm gonna say this too. Y'all, you know, Ron he's been working on the follow-up to Black Rabisi for quite some time. He buckled down a lot. It is on Apple. Whiskey Jazz Leadership is on Apple. Anywhere you want to catch a podcast, you can find that podcast.
Yep.
Love
his book for such a long time, but then he really buckled down last year. Like, you know what? I'm about to get off my ass. I'm gonna finish this book.
This bad boy.
And he did. And I cannot wait to read this book. The first one had me. I was in Hawaii with my wife, and I got through that book like before the trip was over. So
there you go. Also read it. Excellent book. We read. You know what I'm saying?
Black man.
And we support each other clearly.
Right.
There you go.
And by the way, Big Ox is not fired. Somebody sent me a text. Is y'all fired Big Ox? No. Ox just ain't here. He here, but he ain't here. So
here in spirit.
That's our
here
brother.
If you see any one of us, you see all four of us.
Yeah.
So you ain't gotta worry about that.
So please subscribe to us, Straight No Chaser, the podcast, available everywhere, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere else that you might be getting podcasts from. Like us, we drop new episodes every Monday. So you can catch us all the time. You know, that's just kind of how it goes. We appreciate you. Please like, share, comment, you know, interact with us. We love y'all. That's how it kind of goes. And our next Facebook Live, so you all can put this on your calendars, May 12th. So join us back here once again. We're going to be doing this one more time, May 12th. I believe we already got the show planned out. Anyway, you know how it kind of goes. And our end credits here, I just wanted to say real quick, Straight No Chaser, the podcast, is in production with Dana Bingham Guanilio of Makeda Filmworks. And our original theme music, it was produced by Midnight Michael. Gentlemen.
Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah. I've been practicing. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, on that note,
peace out. Peace out.
Peace. Kalia, thanks for going and buying that book. Kalia Long just said she just bought the book. Thank you so
there
much.
You go.
Appreciate that, mama. Y'all.
More than 9 minutes. More than 9 minutes.
We ready?
More than 9 minutes. Peace.
Peace.